Good day, everyone. Today, we are going to dive into one of the most essential topics in organizational development, which is managing change. Whether in hospitality or education, organizations must constantly evolve to stay relevant, competitive, and impactful. But change is rarely easy. And according to Cummings and Worley in Organization Development and Change, five critical factors contribute to successful management. First is motivating change, creating awareness of the need for change and inspiring action. Next is creating a vision. It's about providing a compelling picture of the future that guides and aligns efforts. Next is developing political support, which is about gaining backing from key stakeholders who influence others. Then manage the transition or implementing the change in stages with structure and support. And then lastly is sustaining momentum or keeping enthusiasm and progress alive after the initial push. In today's presentation, we will focus specifically on the last three elements, which are developing political support, managing the transition, and sustaining momentum. These are often the most difficult yet most critical elements, especially in people-centered industries like hospitality and education. And today I'll be giving some examples from both fields. Why these elements matter? Change often fails without people alignment. These three elements make the difference between effort and outcome. And in our industries, the hospitality and education sector, we rely heavily on human relationship. And lack of support and poor transition management leads to resistance. And we need to sustain momentum and ensures long-term integration. So we all know that change isn't just technical, and it's emotional and relational. Without trust, clarity, and consistency, even the best ideas fall. Especially in service-focused sectors like hotels and universities, the human factor is everything. So this element supports structured transition and sustained momentum. This helps bridge the gap between strategy and execution. We need champions, people with credibility and influence. And in hospitality, that could be a lead concierge or department head, or in the academe, it could be respected faculty or department chairs or deans. Their active support make the change feel safe and achievable to others. It's also critical to identify potential resistors and win them over early. Relationship drive outcomes. We use stakeholders mapping to avoid blind spots. For example, night shift hotel staff or even part-time professors may be overlooked. So we need to ensure inclusive engagements in order to prevent later pushbacks and build trust. We need always to consider who can affect or be affected by the change, and we need to classify them as supporters, neutrals, or resistors, and craft our message accordingly. During the transition, people need support more than direction. A trusted team can help answer questions and resolve problems. For example, in a hotel, it could be floor supervisors who are the leaders in the operations. In universities, it could be department coordinators or heads that offering peer support. Also give people a clear idea of what's changing and when so that it can reduce anxiety. Communication must be continuous and two-way. During change, people crave reassurance and clarity. A well-informed front desk team, for example, or a professor who understands the rollout timeline becomes a partner, not a resistor. So don't just talk at people, listen to them. Make sure messages are aligned at all leadership levels to prevent confusion. People experience change differently. Some adapt fast, others need more time. Support them with empathy and structure. In hospitality, that could mean practicing new customer service protocols together. In the academe, it might involve hands-on training for hybrid classrooms. Praise effort, not just outcomes. Recognition reinforces commitment. So we need to support our people emotionally and practically. We need also to offer coaching or help, and we need to be patient as well. We need also to acknowledge emotional labor and uncertainty. Again, we need to recognize and reward and give them rewards. We need to make the resources easy to access and understand. Encourage our peer to support and learning. In sustaining momentum, we share success stories and visible improvements. We reinforce behavior with updated policies and rewards. We keep leadership engaged and present, maintain training and develop beyond launch. We refresh messaging to reflect progress and vision. Momentum can fade without ongoing energy. We need to share wins like guest satisfaction scores or student outcomes. We need to highlight stories from those who embrace change. And we need to adjust incentives to align with new behaviors. Leadership visibility remains crucial when leaders continue to care, so do their teams. We need to keep the mission alive in our everyday decisions. In institutionalizing the change, we are integrating policies into systems, roles, and culture. We adjust performance metrics to reflect new norms. We make it part of everyday practice. We recruit and onboard with a new mindset and celebrate long-term progress. Because sustainability is about also embedding change into the DNA of the organization. From hiring criteria to standard operating procedures, the new way must feel like the natural way. So in hospitality, that means making new service expectations part of onboarding. In academe, it could be integrating technology, fluency into faculty evaluations so that we can normalize the new. I have included here an article from Miranda Kittlering Lynch and James Arthur Williams. It's entitled Navigating the New Norm in the Hospitality Industry, a reflection on needed changes in leadership. And according to this article, adapting leadership for the new norm. Shift from traditional to transformational leadership, the leaders must be adaptable, collaborative, and people-focused. They should emphasize on emotional intelligence. Empathy, active listening, and trust building are the key to leading post-crisis teams. And we need to focus on resilience and agility. Teams thrive when given autonomy, support, and space to adapt. This article really drives home that in the hospitality industry, and honestly in the academy too, leaders can just give orders and expect results. They have to involve people, understand their emotional landscape, and lead with empathy. That's what builds trust and creates teams that are actually willing and ready to change. Also in this article, they talked about connecting leadership shifts to change management. And I connect it to my three topics, which are developing political support, which involve informal leaders like respected staff, senior faculty to build credibility, managing the transition in which the phase changes with clear support system like peer coaching or resource guides, and sustaining momentum about celebrating wins, such as improved feedback efficiency and reward to those who are embracing change. So these leadership changes aren't just trends. They actually support every part of the change management. And when developing political support, leaders who listen and include the right people, easy help, or people, really help set the tone for everybody. And during the transition, people need to feel supported, not pressured. That's where good leadership makes change feel manageable. And to keep momentum, it's all about celebrating wins, whether that's better guest experiences in hospitality or more student engagement in the academy. So we need to recognize fuel progress. Recognize in order to fuel progress. I have also included here a video about navigate and embracing change lessons from Simon Sinek. So who is Simon Sinek? His professional background, his occupation, he is a leadership expert, motivational speaker, and author. He studied law at City University London and earned a BA in cultural anthropology from Brandeis University. And his career highlights began in advertising, working with top agencies like Euro, RSCG, and Ogilvy and Mather. And he gained global recognition with his TED Talk, Start With Why, now among the most viewed of all time. He's also the author of the best-selling books, including Start With Why, Leaders Eat Last, and The Infinite Game, founder. Also of the Optimism Company, promoting leadership, training, and organizational development. So here are the contents of his video. He said that change is constant, and he reminds us that change is hard because our brains are wired to avoid uncertainty. But he also says that discomfort is part of the progress or the process of growth. Leaders, he emphasizes, have to model change. If we want people to follow us, we need to lead with purpose and empathy. That means clearly explaining the why behind the change and checking in with people, not just telling them what to do. And it's a great reminder that change is emotional, not just procedural, and that how we lead makes all the difference. As we wrap up, here's what I want to leave you. Real lasting change doesn't happen because we updated the system or introduced a new policy. It happens when people at all levels are part of the journey. That's why I keep coming back to these three things: the people, purpose, and persistence. Without them, even the best strategies will struggle. But with them, change becomes not just possible but sustainable. Whether we are in a hotel environment or academic setting, success is deeply human. We're in the business of relationships, of trust, communication, and care. So yes, plan well. Have the timeline, the teams, the tools, but also lead with heart, lead with clarity and empathy. When people seen or being heard and supported, they don't just follow change, they drive it. And that's how we move from managing change to mastering it. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Have a nice day. Here are my references.